Andy. We want to show you this one again. LeBron James at 41 years old. Anyone over 40 attempting to get out of bed pulls a muscle, and this guy's doing this. Danny, how is this possible?
I don't know. I said he's got to have access to something. I think the whole world is wondering this, what he has access to that we don't have yet. He's 20 years ahead. He's doing things at 41 that most guys weren't doing at 21. So hard to believe.
The league is looking around saying, let's just hope this is just a short window into the 7-game winning streak. It's time now to run the floor. Jason Tatum looks strong in last night's Celtics win over the Warriors, tallying his third double-double since his return. Danny, how close is Tatum to returning to his All-NBA form?
All-NBA form, I think it's going to take another, 3 or 4 months. But he can definitely get to 80, 85% of himself. He was, I would say, 2.5 steps behind himself when he first started. Now he's about 1.5 steps. So he's gained a step. Within the next 3 weeks, he can gain another 0.5 step. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be scary. Like, he's looking really good right now.
Shams, we all wondered, too, what this would look like. What are you hearing around the league about Tatum since his return?
The goal for Jason Tatum and the Celtics when he came back in early March was to get him to the point when the playoffs start that he's going to be able to play 40 minutes, 45 minutes, whatever is necessary. He's already playing. His minutes limit has already gone from mid to late 20s to now he's hit well into the 30s. And so getting him to the point of 40 minutes or more, full throttle Jason Tatum, if he's able to do that, that's success for the Celtics and for Tatum.
And we look at the Eastern Conference, Danny, it's loaded. There are many teams that you can make an argument right now. The Pistons still occupying the top spot. But I'm going to give you this. Are you taking the Celtics or the field in the East?
I mean, the way they're playing, I would say the Celtics. Yeah. But something in me still has a little favorite to lean toward the Knicks. I think the Knicks got them last year with a healthy Tatum, an all-NBA Tatum. And they have the size inside with Mitchell Robinson, Karl Anthony Towns that Boston can't really match up with. But that would be one heck of a series that I'm looking forward to.
Knicks going to run last year, then they make the coaching change. I find them fascinating than anybody coming up in the postseason. Let's move on to the NBA's hottest team, the Hawks, who got their 11th straight win last night. Hello! No, Harry, no. Your turn's coming.
How about
Jonathan
this, though?
Kuminga,
This is crazy.
I mean, this is
nuts.
nuts.
This might be the craziest shot of the season.
11 in a row. Danny, are the Hawks real threats to pull off an upset in the postseason?
No. But depending on matchups, they could probably beat some teams. But if you're talking about trying to upset the Detroit Pistons, the New York Knicks, or the Boston Celtics, I don't see it happening. Maybe if they match up with the Cleveland Cavaliers, maybe. But no, they're the most mid-500 team in the history of sports. And they're just so inconsistent. Winning 9 games in a row, and they're still in 9th place. That just goes to show you how far behind they were. But they do have an identity now. I like what they're doing. They are trending upward. But they lack the experience, the maturity, all the above when it comes to being a
He called too kind for disrespect, Danny Green.
I'm sorry to tell you, man.
Harry, he called you and your team mid. Shams, what has changed in Atlanta that has prompted this win streak?
So I'll start on the positive side. You have players that now know their position in this organization. You move out Trae Young, Jalen Johnson, Okongwu, Dyson Daniels, and now you bring in Jonathan Kuminga, who missed a little bit of time here and there, but that's their surge that they're having, this youth in that organization. But listen, they've had an easy strength of schedule. They've got the 5th hardest schedule, or I think the 2nd, or whatever it is. They've got a really hard schedule to finish out the season. I'm curious to see how they fare coming up.
There's the teams they've beaten during the 11-game win streak. So Harry, he's not exactly wrong. Danny, that kind of backs up your point a little bit.
Yeah, the only real team in there that I see, decent team, Orlando Magic, but
we'll learn a lot about them, as you said, Shams, with the schedule coming up in the final stretch of the regular season. Finally, Giannis is sidelined once again this season. Shams, what can you share about this latest injury with Giannis?
Another day, another disagreement between the Bucks and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Right now, it's about his playing status and his future. The Bucks want Giannis to shut down the remainder of the season. They do not want him to return. He had a hyperextended knee on Sunday. It's his 5th injury this season. Giannis, though, totally refutes that. He wants to play. He's refuting that. He's upset that they've even asked him to shut down. He wants to play at some point in return when he's healthy to play. Now, the Bucks, they are pretty much almost done with playoff or play-in tournament contention. So for them, for Giannis, it's best for him to sit for now and for their future. He wants to play. So they disagreed about his trade. Giannis felt like it was time for them to move on. The Bucks disagreed. They kept him. Now they feel like he needs to shut it down. He disagrees with them now.
Interesting. We were talking about this with A.J. Brown of the Eagles earlier in the show. Is it time for everyone to move on from each other? It's the same conversation with the Bucks and Giannis. I mean, is it just time we just go our separate ways?
It's time. Sometimes you got to save a player for himself. admirable that he's professional and competitive, wants to step up and play every night. But you gain nothing. They've been bad without him. They haven't been great with him. They're 2-4 since his return, so you haven't won. You're 6 games out of the play-in. Like, this is not good, and you gain nothing from it. So rest your body, get healthy for next season. Hopefully, you can come back to an MVP caliber, which he will be, and be in a contention or be in a place where you can actually win games or, like, contend. I don't think it's going to be Milwaukee unless they pull up some miraculous trade that happens this summer. I don't see it happen. It's time to move on.
Danny, as a player, what have the Bucks gained this season overall to you?
Maybe a good draft pick, possibly.
Look, at the end of the day, he got them a title, and they just didn't do enough to surround him to go on a run, and I think that's where the friction started. We'll see how this ends in the offseason. Gentlemen, so much more with you coming up later. Big news today regarding today's action in the NCAA tournament. Louisville star Michael Brown Jr. will miss this afternoon's game against South Florida after his future availability is unclear. Due to a back injury, the school said that Brown would remain out for a potential second-round game, but Coach Pat Kelsey would not comment on Brown's status beyond today. Brown himself said it was, quote, possible he could play over the weekend. I mean, Harry, I'd ask you your thoughts, but it's pretty...
Harry, you got to up that NIL contribution.
Yeah, seriously, I mean, the Harry Douglas money could go a long way to get him into the tournament.
Fellas, this is devastating news for me, being a lovely alum of the University of Louisville. When you have a guy like Michael Brown Jr., who's their point guard, who's going to be a lottery pick, who initiates everything that they do offensively, it kind of messes up the offense in a lot of different ways. Coach, you talked about this yesterday on our radio show, Freddie and Harry. Like, we don't have a traditional big that you can just get the basketball to down low and just go down and score baskets. So when you're missing your best player who initiates everything, it forces guys that you would love to be off the ball to shoot and make threes. That's going to be missing today versus South Florida, a very athletic team who can turn you over. The most important thing I feel like in NCAA tournament is guard play, right? And you have to protect the basketball. So Isaac McNeely, we know he's not the best dribbling the basketball, but he can put it up. You have to hit your threes. You got to limit your turnovers if you want a chance today of beating South Florida. Old Conference USA matchup.
Sounds like a coach right now, but you're 100% on the money. Adrian Woolley, obviously Kobe Rogers have to play well. Michael Brown was their shot creator. Michael Brown, with him on the floor, they scored 9 more points a game. They shoot a better percentage from the 3. They shoot a higher percentage from the 2. They get out in transition. All those numbers you see on that screen. He makes the game easier for everyone else. You take him out. Now, all of a sudden, Ryan Conwell, who's an elite shot maker. They have no one to get and create and get him an open shot. They don't have no one who can facilitate and basically initiate their fast break. You take Michael Brown off of this team, and everyone's role on the team changes, and not for a good way. They're not a team that you can throw the ball to the post. They got to score on the perimeter, but they don't have any shot creators.
Joe, this is a trendy upset, too, with South Florida, upstart team out of the American. So now that this is out with Michael, where are you leaning on this one?
I like Harry, but I like money more, so we're definitely going to take South Florida here. This is a popular play out west. Come on, you like money too.
No, just talk. Go ahead.
You like money too. All right, this one opened 6.5.
Yep.
Got bet down to 5.5. The injury comes in. Now we're down to 4.5. Two teams heading in opposite directions. Louisville loses 4 of 8 on their way in. Here comes South Florida. They've won 11 straight. As you know, very good basketball
We're
team.
not friends anymore.
Problem for Louisville outside of the injury, 3-point value.